So, welcome to yet another episode of Leadership Story Unscripted podcast. And we have the privilege of having a wonderful guest, Vikas Goyal 2.0, who spent more than 20 years in the corporate world in the IT segment. And now he's here with us sharing deep insights and some golden nuggets, which we would love to cherish. And I'm sure it'll be an inspiration for the youth as well. So Vikas, welcome to the show and thank you so much for being part of Leadership Story Unscripted podcast.
Thank you, Mandeep. I'm glad to be part of this series and sitting along with you. I know how we met initially and what we are doing together right now is absolutely very different. Right?
Absolutely. So yes, that's where we connected, and I'll take a lead from where you started. So Bosch is of course prevention of sexual harassment. And I was the external committee member. We obviously would not name the organization for the benefit of the organization and the clause that we have. And you were part of the committee. So great learnings there. And we had great camaraderie amongst all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I also did not even feel that we will connect so much. And today we'll be talking on an absolutely different topic.
Absolutely.
The prevention of sexual harassment.
Very true, very true. So moving on, Vikas, I think this is a very touchy and a very scary topic, cybersecurity. And you've mastered it all by taking on that challenge, being at the helm of an organization which is one of the largest fintech companies in the world. So how did it all happen?
So, no, I would say that it just didn't happen overnight. Gradually got into. So I have been with this company for 13 years now. I started off with risk management. Begin with as my first job in this company. Then I gradually got into auditing, information security, created the teams for a lot of different areas. And then back in 2017 is when I was moved into cybersecurity. And since then I'm doing cybersecurity. People feel that yes, it is difficult. It is, but I would say nothing is as difficult as we feel it is. If others can do it, and that has been my mantra.
Absolutely.
If someone else can do it, I can at least give it a try.
Great.
And if I am able to do, others should also give it a try.
जब तक घुसोगे नहीं तो पता कैसे चलेगा क्या है?
It is not difficult,
Right.
but it requires you to have an analytical
Yes.
kind of mind. It requires certain traits.
And
if
also
you have those traits.
constant knowledge and upgrading yourself.
True. So again, constant knowledge. Let me put it in a different way to you. You ask people of which all new movies are coming.
Yeah.
People will you tell.
Yeah.
Which heroine or stars wear what dress, what model of watch do they use. People are upgrading their knowledge every day.
Correct.
It is just about which area you want to upgrade your knowledge into.
Very true. How simple.
It is so simple, right?
Yes.
Cybersecurity is same.
Very true.
A new technology comes, does not mean that it is coming every 3 years.
Yeah.
It comes. It takes a year for it to mature. And 1 year is good enough time for learning anything.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that the government is also taking a lot of initiatives insofar as creating awareness amongst people that, do not click on links or, if you get a call from a certain agency, don't think that it is right. You need to do your due diligence before you actually end up doing so.
I receive such calls almost on a daily basis.
Same here.
Wherein someone will call me that I'm calling from so-and-so department from TRI or from the courier company, and then you have sent some parcel, and I so happen to talk to them. Oh yeah, this is happening. Towards the end, I break their, it becomes an anticlimax for them. When I shout at them and scare them that okay, now that we have done all of this, I've recorded you, right? And your number and your conversation is going on to the government portal, cybercrime portal. And you will regret calling me.
I'll use that tactic too.
Absolutely. And I have recorded for so many people.
Very true.
All of your numbers will be disabled in 2 hours from now. What nonsense is this?
Lovely.
These people, from a cybersecurity perspective, I tell you, it is not even cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a different world altogether. All of this is called as a fraud.
Correct.
And how can I play with your mind? You feel, oh, my numbers will be disconnected.
Yeah.
How in this world is it possible?
So it's a lot of mind games that they play.
They try to make you fear.
Yeah.
They will try to lure you with money or with something that interests you, right? And all of that information is available on social media. What you like, because that is what you have liked on your Facebook, on your Instagram, or all of the social media platforms. It is not very difficult to.
And data is like fuel for them.
True. They just reach out, and then majority of the time, these cyber crimes happen because of the things that you're afraid of.
Absolutely.
My LPG connection will be stopped, your electricity bill has not been paid. If you have never forgotten to pay your electricity bill in last 20 years, and even if you forget, what will happen? Even if you forget, nothing ever happens.
Absolutely.
No one is going to disconnect your electricity, no one can disconnect your water, no one can disconnect your mobile phone. People will call you.
Yeah.
People will call you and they'll come to your place. Or you call up your call center and check, is this true or not? But people in that moment, they take super actions.
True.
And it happens. And it happens with people. But awareness is important for people to realize that they shouldn't fall prey to such calls.
Absolutely. So, Vikas, talking about Vikas Goyal 2.0, and I'm sure everyone looking at your LinkedIn profile would be interested to know why 2.0? What's the story behind that 2.0?
And before that, I'll tell you one interesting fact that a lot of people, when I go to conferences and meetings and places, more people know me as 2.0 than my real name of Vikas Goyal. They just remember 2.0 because this is a little unique that people do. And I'll tell you the reason how it started. All through my career, I was a high achiever and all of that. But I was absolutely into myself. Like I would learn, do things for my team. But it was all a very small group. Very small environment that I was operating. Back in 2021 is when I realized that, okay, this is not what I am. I need to expand myself. And that's when I was intrigued by spirituality. That's when I intrigued by, how to contribute to the society and people. तो वहाँ से वो सारा journey शुरू हुआ. तो फिर I started connecting with people. I started going to the conferences. Invites पहले भी आते थे. But I used to feel, okay, 4 घंटे खराब होंगे.
Exactly.
कोई फायदा तो है नहीं. But then when I started going over there, I realized how much can I learn from the people around me.
Very true.
Right? What are the challenges that other people are facing?
Absolutely.
How
you get a
do
different perspective altogether.
Absolutely. I started going to colleges and then interacting with the students.
Youth. Yeah.
Simple. Colleges में student के पास इतना energy है.
Exactly.
लेकिन उनका knowledge नहीं है.
And they can question the status quo. और अगर वो कर सकते हैं तो हम मतलब पता नहीं कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच सकते हैं.
स्टूडेंट के पास इतना नॉलेज है जो कि कॉर्पोरेट के 15 साल के एक्सपीरियंस वाले बंदे के पास नहीं है.
Absolutely.
That is the kind of energy that these students have. All that they don't know कि मुझे करना क्या है. Because they are taught like 50,000 things in the college in 4 years. उन्हें पता ही नहीं मुझे utilize करना. All that you primarily utilize is one skill or probably the one chapter that you would have read somewhere.
Absolutely.
And that becomes your career for the rest of your life.
Because it's so true. When I asked them a question, what do you want to do or what do you want to become? None of them raised their hands initially. And then when one said something, then they started raising hands. So people are not clear of what they want to do. They're just there because of their parents.
One more thing that I do, this is the trick that I use in most of the conferences or not the webinars, because webinar model is different. But colleges में जब जाते हैं student बैठे होते हैं 600,000 और no one really wants to ask the question because वो बैठे नहीं हैं वहाँ पे. And this is the reality. उन्हें बैठाया गया है क्योंकि कॉलेज को कोई चाहिए जो आके बोले. क्योंकि कॉलेजेस को लगा दिस इज द रियलिटी.
कॉलेज आई एग्री.
लीडर्स को इसलिए बुलाते हैं ताकि एक कोई लीडर कॉलेज में आ जाए और फिर वो उस कॉलेज को सेल कर सकें कि देखो हमारे कॉलेज में ये चीजें होती हैं. स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट इवन अवेयर कि कौन आया कौन नहीं आया. I just ask a simple thing and I just tell them one simple thing. Even if you don't have a question in mind, please ask.
Absolutely.
Because probably I could be a potential employer for you.
Yeah.
और जो लोग सवाल पूछेंगे उनका नाम और उनकी शक्ल तो मुझे याद रह जाएगी. इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे हेल्प हो जाएगी कि हाँ ये बंदा सही है सवाल पूछता है. नॉलेज तो आप सबकी बराबर है.
Correct.
And then when I change that thing to this question or this statement, the flood of questions starts to come.
Wow.
कोई question पूछता है.
I'll use that trick for sure. Wonderful.
But this is the reality. आपको उसी का नाम या शक्ल याद रहने वाली जिसने आपसे बात की थी. बाकी तो इतने स्टूडेंट्स के 600 स्टूडेंट आपको लाइव पढ़ रही है फेस पे आपको नजर नहीं आ रहा होगा.
बिल्कुल. Absolutely. You can't even see them. So Vikas, moving on to your journey, how it started. You began your journey about 20 plus years back.
22 years ago, yeah. 2002, 2003.
It was in a BPO setup. That was the first job, and I believe it was a web-based process.
It was a web-based process, yes.
So how did you transition from there to becoming into IT?
So imagine, I was that bad in conversation,
even
orating, that I couldn't get a voice process that that time, back in 2003, because I wasn't really confident. I don't come from a family wherein everything is very formal. My dad was a small businessman. It was a very humble starting that we had. So knowledge-wise, writing-wise, I was good. I could express myself, but I wasn't that great that I can cut someone and then do my statement in between.
Absolutely.
जो कि group discussion में चाहिए होता है. And it used to happen. Group discussion सारा खत्म हो गया, आप तो नहीं बोल रहे.
Correct.
क्योंकि मुझे सेंस ही नहीं नजर आ रही कुछ बोलने की. Right? I was more of a sense वाला person. All of these guys are just shouting. All that is taught in your MBA trainings. So I would want to interject over here.
Yeah.
The gentleman not even made a statement and you're interjecting. so but again, the intent was that I started off doing the BPO job because I could not get into the MBA in my first attempt when I was preparing for it.
Right.
And at that time, this BPO thing just happened because push to karna hai.
Correct.
I cleared.
This was in which year? 2002?
2002. 2002 is when I started off with
So I started in 2001. So almost roughly the same time. Wow.
You also started a career in 2001.
Absolutely. And I was in a voice process.
Okay.
So yeah, parallel lives there.
Parallel lives.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it
Later offline.
So so I started in the BPO, but something that I was always intrigued with is how to support people, and with that intent of mine, the BPO industry is run with CSAT, the customer satisfaction.
Correct.
And my CSAT
That's a big metric. I think
that is the only metric.
50 to 60% of the weightage goes to that. And then comes ACHT and all of that.
AHT, the average handle time and all of that. But again, the point is, अगर आपका CSAT अच्छा है, तो भाई आपने चाहे 5 कॉल करी हो, चाहे 50 करी हो, आपका AHT अच्छा है, तो automatically आपका वो चीज़ आना शुरू हो जाता है. So my customer satisfaction was good, and then I was asked about how are you doing it, and then I told that instead of giving one solution, I try and give a solution in a tree model that try this. If this happens, then do this. If this happens, then do this.
Right.
And then something will happen. So at least in one email, I've given them 3 solutions. So मेरा overall जो average time होता है उस completion को करने का conversation को वो बहुत drastically reduce हो जाता था. And people used to give me a CSAT.
Very good.
So I started off implementing the Lean Six Sigma processes for the department, and that is how I gradually, got more traction and evolved in the organization. One thing that has helped me that I learned from BPO, and all the listeners of your podcast who are into BPO, a lot of time people feel like, yeah, it's a time pass job.
Exactly. It's not that at all.
The skills that I learned.
Yeah.
One, interaction with an unknown person.
Yeah.
That is what I learned. Second, email. I was into more of an email process.
Right.
So I learned to paraphrase of what the problem of the customer is.
Yes.
And then providing solution in such a way that he understands.
Exactly.
That skill has helped me enormously in my organization, wherever I have worked. Because email, her company के अंदर is most important.
And you're not able to see the person. So the only way is your language.
People just write in paragraphs and paragraphs. No one reads it.
Yeah.
And I would phrase it in such a manner that I will paraphrase of what I have understood. So that whatever else I am writing, if the person is not convinced with the understanding, he will just immediately write back, no, I don't think that you understood it right. Right? उसके लिए 2 ही मिनट लगा उसको समझने में. And then उसके बाद नीचे problem, background of the issue, probable solution, pros and cons.
Wow.
Then I try and do, and when I do it, I don't write to an email on just one my thing. I would paraphrase if there are 15 threads to it or 15 conversations. I just set it up, and anyone who reads it would understand everything in one go.
Wow.
And that is how I get quick responses from any other leaders. Approvals चाहिए फटाफट से मिलते हैं.
क्या बात है.
क्योंकि आपने पूरा प्रॉब्लम समझा दिया, आपने पूरा कॉल कर दिया.
Zabardast. Very good, yeah.
So some small things that help you, and I've used them all through my career in my life.
बड़े देशों में छोटी-छोटी बातें हैं और उन्हीं छोटी बातों से बड़ी-बड़ी बातें बन जाती हैं.
Absolutely.
क्या बात है. So विकास, एक क्वेश्चन मेरे को बहुत इंट्रीग करता है. ये जो IT वाले होते हैं ना, of course you're completely different. I know you as a person now. But IT वाले जो होते हैं ना, बहुत ही बोरिंग होते हैं और बिल्कुल अपने फोकस से रहते हैं. So, of course, your personality is completely different. But do you think that fitting into that box is a right statement to make?
I would say it depends on person to person. I have never tried to keep myself in a box that okay, I would do only this. I have been intrigued with the Constitution. So I started reading about that also back a long time back also. So I loved about learning economics, so I understood things in economics also. I would say IT has started coming to India, and it was primarily from the year 2000.
Yes.
And a lot of people feel, "Arey, development karta hai, coding karta hai," because that is how it began in India.
Exactly.
But within IT, there are so many things that you can
Very
do.
true.
So a lot of times, some people don't want to talk too much because जैसे आप बोलोगे तो आपको पता दूसरों को पता लगेगा कि कुछ नहीं करता. तो keeping quiet is the best option.
Is the best option.
But I say that even if you don't know, better that you tell the other person, or better that you accept.
Yes.
ताकि आप दूसरे से सीख सको.
Exactly.
छुट्टी तो रहना.
Very true. Very true.
I learned it from one of the leaders that I've worked in the past. कि make mistakes early and as fast as you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think even Jack Ma said the same thing.
Make mistakes as quickly as
Very
possible.
true. Especially in your 20s and 30s. So all the youth out there, guys, these are golden nuggets from Vikas Goyal 2.0. Follow him on LinkedIn. He'll keep giving you advice. Great. So Vikas, देश का विकास हो रहा है, आपका विकास भी हो रहा है. अब यूथ का विकास के लिए आप क्या प्रेरणा देना चाहेंगे आप?
देखिए, विकास करना अपना या देश का, उसके लिए सिर्फ माइंडसेट सही होना चाहिए. एंड I'll give you one example. A lot of time when I talk to my teams and other people, and I ask them a question: how much time do you think you would take to learn a skill?
Right.
And let me ask you the same question: how much time do you think it'll take you to learn a skill?
Maybe about 6 months, 7 months.
7 months, right?
Yeah.
But let me change your perspective right now. You have seen the brochures of the colleges or your syllabus.
Yeah.
Right? उस सिलेबस में एक सब्जेक्ट होता है, उस सब्जेक्ट के आगे कुछ नंबर लिखा होता है. वो नंबर क्या होता है? 15, 13, 12 क्रेडिट आवर्स. इफ यू एवर रियलाइज वो क्रेडिट आवर्स क्या चीज है? क्रेडिट आवर्स वो हैं, वो नंबर ऑफ आवर्स जितने घंटे आपके सेशन होंगे उस सब्जेक्ट से रिलेटेड. अब आप उठा लो कोई भी सेमेस्टर, किसी भी कॉलेज का ब्रोशर, किसी भी कोर्स का सिलेबस, कोई भी सब्जेक्ट आज तक मैंने नहीं देखा जिसके आगे 18 घंटे से ऊपर लिखा हो. 18 क्रेडिट से ज्यादा लिखा हो, वहाँ पे आवर्स भी नहीं होता. हाँ, 18 क्रेडिट्स का मतलब है कि कोई भी फैकल्टी आपको वो चीज 18 घंटे पढ़ाएगी, 1.5 घंटे या 12 सेशंस, या फिर हफ्ते में 2 सेशंस, तो 2 घंटे हो गए, और आपको 3 महीने के अंदर वो कोर्स कंप्लीट कराएगा. तो 18 घंटे में आप कोई भी चीज सीख सकते हैं. दैट चेंज ऑफ थॉट प्रोसेस.
बिल्कुल यार, मैं तो आश्चर्यचकित
एक दिन में कोई भी चीज सीख सकते हो. द ओनली थिंग इज एब्जॉर्प्शन टाइम और प्रैक्टिस टाइम लगता है.
एग्जैक्टली.
तो अगर आपको कोई चीज सीखनी है, समझनी है, तो आप एटलीस्ट जस्ट गो थ्रू इट. पीपल स्पेंड लाइक नाइट्स ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स, राइट? एक नाइट लगा दो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट को सुनने में, समझ में आए या नहीं आए.
मेरी daughters हैं, I've got twins, so they love to learn new languages. In fact, उन्होंने फ्रेंच इतनी जल्दी सीख ली कि मैं हैरान हो गया, ये बोल क्या रहे हैं. So एक तो स्कूल में इनका सब्जेक्ट है, now they are learning Spanish. एक Duolingo करके एक ऐप है, which I'm sure you and many of us are aware of. उसमें अगर if you spend about 20 to 30 days, you can learn a new language.
देखो वो आपकी बात सुन रहा है और आपको बोलेगा कि आप इस तरीके से कोई एक सब इसी लाइन को
ऐसे बेसिक्स तो आपको आते हैं. And when you go to that country, when you talk to the local people, they feel so nice. हमें अच्छा लगता है कोई हिंदी में बात करे.
And people just feel afraid of मैं टेक्निकल नहीं हूँ.
Exactly.
You don't need to be technical.
It's a mindset. You rightly said, and it's a mind blockage.
Mind blockage को हटाना ही बहुत जरूरी है. And then I have actually helped people in removing that mental block.
आप तो कोच भी है, मेंटर भी है, क्या क्या है. तो ये 2.0 तक भी आएगा कि 3.0 तक जा चुका है.
Let's see. With the grace of God, everything would happen gradually, hopefully. उसका रीजन यही था कि मैं नाम तो चेंज नहीं कर सकता, but as operating systems evolve, they change their the number. So why not to change? That is the easiest.
Absolutely. Wow. So because let's move away from this and the touchy topic that everyone has. कि यार जॉब्स तो है हमारे पास, आज है कल शायद नहीं रहेंगी, AI सारी जॉब्स खा जाएगा. तो ये सबके मन में एक डर बैठा हुआ है. स्पेशली जो बड़े बुजुर्ग हैं वो कहते हैं यार कुछ कोर्स करें. अपने आप में इन्वेस्ट करें. Of course it is good, but क्या ये रियलिटी है?
हाँ खा जाएगा.
सच में
अगर आपको नहीं आती है. There were people back in 1960s who used to drive bicycles.
Yeah.
And the rickshaw guys, they have all lost their jobs because rickshaws are not pulling rickshaw and they are not used as much. But those people have learned.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to I'm just trying to give an analogy. Back then, there were a lot of laborers there in the industry.
Correct.
Right? Now the processes were automated. Revolution तो लोगों ने industrialization का भी किया था कि हमारी नौकरियां चली जाएंगी. बस ज़्यादा सामान बनता है तो उस सामान को consume करने के लिए, transportation के लिए, the nature of the job changes. Similarly with AI, certainly a lot of jobs are not required. If I would say, at least 30% to 40% of my work that I used to do it earlier, I do it through AI today.
Right.
बहुत सारी चीजें बनाना, brainstorming के लिए, is this the right thing? Now, whom do I do it with? Either I need someone's time, or I use AI. I give AI an idea. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Is it right? Or ask me as many questions as you can to make me reach to a relevant question or relevant conclusion.
Empower कर रहा है.
Absolutely, AI is empowering. And people are afraid कि पता नहीं उनको large language model बनाने हैं. No, that is not how it works.
It's not rocket science at all.
That the way car industry manufactures the car.
Yeah.
And there is a person who is creating the model of the car, creating the engine. That is not the only person who's earning out of the car.
True, absolutely.
There are people who are driving it, there are people who are repairing it, there are people who are fixing the punctures, there are people who are painting the cars. All of that is the ecosystem.
Yeah.
With AI, there are small things that you can utilize it for. While you are working and preparing for your email, आप उस email को एक बार डाल के देखो कि AI model के अंदर कि is this right or convert it to a more professional language.
True.
Why can't you start using it instead of fearing it?
Absolutely.
अगर आप बीच पे खड़े हैं और आपको दिख रहा है कि सामने से तेज वेव आ रही है तो आप उसको देखते रहोगे और डरते रहोगे कि हाय मैं मर जाऊंगा.
बिल्कुल.
आप क्या स्मार्ट नहीं करोगे? You will move back and then you will try to safeguard yourself. You'll break some equipment with yourself. This is what AI is. AI is going to change the world. Certainly, a lot of jobs that were mundane, that did not require too much of thinking.
Correct.
They are moving to AI.
Yeah. So it is certainly a boon.
Absolutely. But the only thing is, you need to learn it.
Yes. Okay. So the next question that I have for you is, youth जो है आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा attention span का कम होता जा रहा है. तो उनको अगर आपको कुछ चैनलाइज करना है कोई करियर की तरफ या कोई ऐसी चीज जो प्रोडक्टिव है जो उनके स्किल सेट से एनहांस कर सके, कैसे आप कर सकें? I mean, you have millennials in your team as well. How do you really encourage them and how do you really, tell them कि भाई कुछ करो, नहीं तो ट्रेन आगे निकल जाएगी. There will be 10 others who will take a place.
So before even I talk about millennials, let me talk about myself. Attention span तो हमारा भी कम है.
बिल्कुल. मोबाइल हमारी
इतनी सारी चीजें कर रहे होते हो, काम कर रहे हो, फिर आपका कुछ पिंग बज गया, फिर आपको फिर मोबाइल पे even when you're sitting on your working on your laptop, you have 5 alerts. Attention span तो कम हुआ है.
Correct.
But I'll just give you one example of how I identify that it is now deteriorating my overall time management. And that is again how I got into the spiritual side of things. I started meditation, and I also did Vipassana for 10 days. When I was not having anything with me, no electronic gadgets, no books, no reading material, no one to talk to.
Complete isolation.
Complete isolation. You are there with people, but you cannot eye contact with them. You cannot talk to them.
Oh,
10 days.
And with a kuch bhi.
You are only meditating.
Tough.
I thought it is. While doing it also, I thought it is tough. But when I felt the benefits of it,
of course,
I realized, okay, your me time is required.
Are you continuing with that or?
Yeah, I try and do it at least for half an hour every day. Because all that it requires is you to sit down, right?
Right.
And don't think about
Absolutely.
it. And in the morning you can do it.
On a similar lines, I had in fact come across something called Awaken. It used to be called Silent Wednesdays. Started in the Silicon Valley. So for our viewers, this is basically beneficial to people who want to just break away from the clutter and just relax. So 45 minutes ke liye just sit in front of a candle and let the thoughts flow. And in the end, food is what they look at. The host actually gives the langar or whatever food or whatever. But the idea is to just sit down and collect your thoughts, let them flow, don't block them, but at the same time, you be in a meditative state.
True. So the way I realize it is that when your thought of flows are going on, or okay, let me put it in a better way. Have you ever gone to a marriage or a function wherein you did not know anyone?
Yeah.
Right? When you happen to go in your friend's marriage, wherein other than your friend, you don't know anyone.
Exactly.
Those are the best marriages, right?
Actually,
You don't have to talk to anyone. No one is asking you who you are, and
no expectations.
No expectations. You just go, eat, enjoy, and come back.
Yeah, very true.
Meditation is like that. You are in someone else's marriage.
What a parallel. Lovely.
When you have your own function, you are exhausted because you have to greet everyone, you have to talk to everyone, you have to do so many things.
Running around there. पूछो मत.
Meditation में ही है.
अभी मेरी niece की wedding हुई है.
तो meditation वैसे ही है ना. आप.
But it was beautiful.
हाँ, आप thoughts में चल रहे हो, आपके पास thoughts आ रहे हैं, but you are not engaging with anyone. No, your thoughts are like the people who are coming into this function, but you are not engaging with those thoughts. You are letting the thoughts come, but you are not engaging. यार मैं आजकल मेरा ऑफिस में क्या होगा? जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Let the thought come and don't engage with that thought. Let it go. या मेरे को अगला कोर्स क्या करना है, मेरे को जॉब के लिए भी अप्लाई करना है, मैंने तो आता कुछ नहीं है, मेरे फ्रेंड का इसी का जॉब लग गया. You thinking about all of these things is not going to get you anything.
Absolutely.
You reducing your stress from all of these things, probably you will be able to utilize your energy for better things. And this is also again 2.0. Change of thought.
Lovely.
Change of thought. Because
I think it's important. So it's only once you start experiencing it, then you will realize the benefits of it.
And experience तभी होगा जब आप करोगे. Everyone knows why meditation helps you. No one does it.
Exactly.
And the best time is when you get up in the morning, when your alarm rings for the first time and you snooze. Uस time पे what I do is I do snooze it, but I just sit down. I keep my eyes closed, but I just sit down in my own bed, and that is when I would just not think about anything. क्योंकि आपका दिमाग तो वैसे भी सो ही रहा है. Why do you want to kind of make it up and
lazy slumber? But that's a very good.
Best time है. आपका meditation time
बहुत ही अच्छा है.
Because आप बैठ गए हो तो आप सोओगे तो नहीं. बेटर सो तो नहीं पाओगे. लेकिन आपका mind sleeping state में ही है. That's the best time. And just think about one thing of how do I need to utilize my day to day. One thing what I would do that would help me. नौकरी नहीं, काम नहीं, घर के काम नहीं. वो एक चीज जो आज आप करना चाहोगे जिससे आप सीख सकते हो, बस वो चीज के बारे में सोचो and you will gradually realize कि होने लगती है.
Great. Okay. So now we are going to move into a very interesting part of the podcast, which is the rapid fire. So are you ready for it?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay. So I'm just going to say a few words, and you're going to say a word which relates to it, and it's going to be very quick. Okay.
This is like those are Shah Rukh Khan movie, Anjali Verma. Gonna be tricky, yeah?
Or coffee with current.
Absolutely.
Or coffee without current, let's say. Okay. So are you ready? Vikas, 2.0. Favorite holiday destination?
Favorite holiday destination, Goa. Anytime.
Wow. Party animal?
I was. Now I am not.
Okay.
I was. Crazy party guy. Like again, 2.0, quit all of that.
Favorite poison?
I would say mobile.
Wow.
It's the poison. If I can.
I didn't think of it that way. Very good, yeah.
There used to be a time
It is
poison.
It is.
There used to be a time when I used to be watching every update on WhatsApp. Used to clear up my chats as if this is a profession of mine. मुझे सारी chats clear करनी है. Today, if you will pick up my phone, I would have close to like 90, 100 chats that I have not read. I have in thousands of groups, so I don't need to read everything.
I'm really enjoying this conversation because my phone is on flight mode now. It's the best thing to happen to I agree. Okay, the next question. Your favorite politician?
Favorite politician, undoubtedly, without a thought. Like there are two, but I would say Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath are my favorite politicians.
Okay.
So, but I would say Narendra Modi. The way he has changed the face of politics.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not agree, but See, it is about
To each his own.
It is about strategy that he has and the vision that he has. Not everything will happen to me today.
Okay.
Even if you are a family of 4, there are 2 children, parents, and the parents want their children to learn, they're spending on their education. That education also takes minimum 3 years of graduation and that person to get a job, right? And then he start to impact the family positively and contribute into the economy or the salary of the family. What do you expect?
Correct.
140 crore का देश 2 दिन में भी बदल देगा. But again, approaches are there. That they're putting a person who's a medium earner or a low earner, spending all that money into the education of the family, of their children, and then one day they'll come back. So सारा पैसा अभी हर किसी को नहीं मिल सकता.
Absolutely.
There are
सबका विकास नहीं होगा. धीरे-धीरे विकास होगा. 3.0 में
होगा. देश का भी विकास होगा. सबका विकास होगा.
Definitely होगा. अच्छा, stock market. Do you think it's going to touch 1.5 lakhs?
Let it touch whatever. I mean, I don't invest.
Okay.
I don't invest. The reason is, if I'm investing into stock market, my entire time goes into watching of what has gone up, what has gone down.
Mutual funds?
I have done that, but again, I mean, right now
mutual funds
is good. It's safe.
You need to say one word for it. Mutual funds?
Mutual fund, I would say yes. It is good. Go for it.
सही है.
सही है. सही है.
Okay, great. All right, the final question. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
What would Vikas say to a Vikas Goyal 1.0 or 0.0?
Okay.
Which is going 20 years back.
हाँ, तो मैं यही बोलूँगा कि भाई इतनी देर को कहाँ लगा थी, कहाँ रह गए?
अरे क्या बात है!
जल्दी क्यों नहीं करा?
बहुत ही बढ़िया है.
सोच बदलनी थी, वो थोड़ा सा बदला तो चीजें बदलनी शुरू हुई. And that is the reality. I would say it all goes to the mentors that I had in my life who told me you can do a lot, and then I was like struck, कहाँ पे फंसा हूँ? वो सोच ही है, माइंडसेट है, आप उसको रिलीज करते हो.
Any one mentor that you would want to name? I'm asking another question. Taking the liberty.
There are a lot of them.
One mentor. Who comes to mind immediately?
Captain Raghuram.
Wow. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
In fact, my first job that I did with him.
Work with him.
Yeah. Seen him closely, worked with him, sat with him when a came in like this, understood from him the life lessons that he used to give, and his simple thing of, he would call everyone as Tiger. We were freshers in the company and he's like, hey Tiger, how are you? That gives you the sense of pride.
Yes.
Okay, that today I may be a cub, but one day I'll become a Tiger.
That pride community. Yeah.
This is the energy.
Wow.
And Captain sir, if you are listening to this is for you. Yeah. The very reason why I joined the company was you, because I heard you. And then
we love you. We all love you. You've got a beautiful style.
Absolutely.
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Vikas. And I'm sure we would certainly have a 2.0, not Vikas 2.0, but we would have a 2.0 of this very soon in second season. Really a pleasure having you over.
I would love to have a conversation again.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you so much again for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you.
Thank you.